Come on, stomp your feet. Put your hands together. Come on, stomp your feet. You gotta stop. Put your hands together. Come on, stomp your feet. Si, senor. Put your hands together. Come on, stomp your feet. Put your hands together. Come on, stomp your feet.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here, and we're ready to restart. In the WhatsApp group of secondary English teachers and elementary English teacher, I sent a code, a QR code. The QR code is not the attendance yet, okay? The QR code is provided by Inglés Tech, and it's a kind of raffle, and you can participate in some discounts for you or your family, okay? Or someone else that you want to share that kind of offer and discount with these people. So it's already in the WhatsApp group of primary and secondary English teachers. You can, at the end of the presentation, I will project it, but right now you can share it to each other, okay? So be careful with the cars where you park, because it seems that somebody had a little problem because this person parked at a place where they didn't have to do it. So it was a problem with the traffic officer. Okay, well, let's continue. I beg your silence for the next presentation, and let's go ahead. Carol.
Welcome back. We're going to continue with our program. Our third speaker holds a BA in English and master's degree in teaching English as a foreign language from the University of Costa Rica. She is a certified oral proficiency evaluator from the American Council of Teachers of Foreign Languages and is an international academic consultant for Oxford University Press. She works as a professor in the English for Specific Purposes program at the School of Modern Languages in the University of Costa Rica. She has published articles in different magazines and has participated in national and international conferences. Her interests revolve around mystery and suspense literature, acquisition of a second language, self and peer assessment, and the use of tools and technology to enhance the learning process. With the presentation title, Small Changes, Big Impact, Practical Strategies for Active English Classroom, please welcome Andrea Lazo de la Vega Moreno.
Dos. That there you go, okay? You can use this one or that one.
This one here. There we go. Can you hear me well? Yes? Okay, how are you doing today? Good? How's your energy level? High, middle, low? Be honest. So? Okay. So I would like to have a little kind of grounding exercise because I know that we were on a break, so to come back like to our center and then we can move to the presentation. My name is Andrea Lazo de la Vega Moreno. I know I have a very long last name, but it's a pleasure for me to be here with all of you. I want to say thank you to the organizers of these type of spaces that I consider extremely useful for teachers, because even though we are surrounded by our students every single day, I consider teaching to be kind of a lonely profession, right? Because we plan alone, and then we do catharsis alone, and we cry alone sometimes, and we get anxious alone too. So I think these are great spaces to first learn from each other, then work on our professional development, and also see that we are in this together. We are not alone. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here and for your interest to continue developing as professionals. So I would like to take a couple of minutes out of your time to do a little and very brief breathing exercise. Because sometimes we forget about this. I do this with my students. I'm also a teacher and a professor, so I always do this with my students, and this is the way I like to start my classes, grounding ourselves, because sometimes we are running back and forth, doing many things at the same time, and I think as teachers, one important thing that we should do is kind of set the atmosphere and the environment inside the classroom, especially after break, right? Where your students come into the classroom with a lot of energy and moving around. So we need to set kind of the mood in the classroom. So that's what we're gonna do here today. So if you wanna join me, feel free to join me. If not, you can just relax right there. So we're gonna take 3 deep breaths, and if you can take your hand and place it here on your chest, because breathing is kind of basic, essential for us as humans, but sometimes we kind of lose track of it, okay? So let's take 3 deep breaths at the count of 1, through your nose, 2, and 3. I'm gonna ask you, if you feel comfortable, please close your eyes. And I want you to pay attention to what you are listening. You close your eyes, what are you listening to? Now, what do you smell? Hopefully it's a nice smell. I'm gonna ask you to take your hands, both of your hands. I have the microphone, so I cannot do it, but both of your hands, and let's move up, moving your fingers up, 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 as high as you can get. There you go, down. Good. One more time, up, up, up. Down. And one last time. There we go. Where you are right there, let's try to stretch our legs, okay? Back and forward. There you go. Your feet, you can move them around. Excellent. Now let's try to twist a little bit, okay? To one side, you hold it. To the other side, you hold it. We go back. Now take a look around you. Pay attention to what you have around you. The person next to you, the screen, the microphone, the banners, the lights. And now let's take 3 more deep breaths, okay? At the count of 1, 2, and the last one, 3. There we go. How do you feel? Better, right? We grounded ourselves, okay? So thank you so much for joining me. So what are we gonna be doing today? Small changes, big impact, practical strategies for active English classrooms. As I was mentioning, I'm also a teacher, and I love theory, but I love practice and real life so much more. So I'm gonna do my best today to give you practical strategies that move out of the book. Because has it happened to you that you read a book or you watch a video and you say, oh, this looks so nice, so professional, so interesting, but then when you move to the reality of your classroom, completely different. Has that happened to you? That you say, this will never work with my students. Because some strategies are amazing if you have a group of 10. Do you have a group of 10 students? Do you have just one group or 2 groups? 9. There you go. Imagine. So some strategies might work, but we have to go back to our reality, because otherwise the strategies just overwhelm us instead of helping us out. So the first thing I want to share with you are these 3 principles that I always have in my presentations. The first one is sharing is caring. Information can be amazing, but if we don't share it, it's completely useless. And I think that as teachers, we isolate ourselves so much, and there's a lot of amazing experiences here, a lot of amazing activities that we can share with each other. So sharing is caring. Explore options that can improve practices. It's not just settling down and this is the way I work and that's it. We can explore and see what can work for us on our particular context. And I want us here to be real, okay? So always keep in mind your groups. Maybe some strategies will be perfect for you. Maybe some strategies will not work for your particular groups, but I'm sure that at least one will work for you, okay? So always, always keep in mind your context, your experience, your goals, your students, the materials that you have access to, the lesson plans, and so on and so forth. So the first question that I have for us today is, how can we make our English lessons more engaging without creating more work for ourselves? Because I don't want to give you ideas in which you have to go home and develop more handouts and more worksheets and change your lesson plan and look for different materials. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a lot of free time? What is free time, right? If we are teachers. So I don't want to add anything else to what you already do. What I want to do is for you to analyze the strategies that you already have at hand, the resources that you feel comfortable with, and we just spice them up a little bit. And that's it, okay? I know that sometimes we can be bombarded by this idea of we have to do more and do more research and learn about this and learn about that. Isn't that really overwhelming for us as teachers? Because everything looks so nice, but I don't have time to go and see if this works for me and try it out. So yeah, exploring is worth it, definitely, especially nowadays that sometimes things are changing super quickly. But I don't want you to feel pressured about that, because at the end of the day, I believe that the most important part of teaching is the human component. And that one, you already have it. So we add things, but the empathy that you can have, the experience that you develop year by year, that's what definitely matters and what definitely counts. So for today, I'm gonna be sharing with you some ideas, okay? Before I move to these strategies, what does an active English classroom look like? And when I use the word active, sometimes people think, okay, students running around and everything is a disaster, everything is messy, and I cannot control my group. I don't refer to that, okay? Because if we have movement, but it's not an intentional movement, that's just a disaster and no control in the classroom. So those are like 2 different things. But when we talk about an active English classroom, is when we can ask our students to think, to speak, to collaborate, to reflect, and to use English meaningfully. And our students learn English by using English, okay? And sometimes everything tends to focus on the teacher. And I think it's time to start changing that a little bit. Because we plan our classes, we develop the materials, we work on the evaluations, we give feedback, plus the other 1,000 things that we have to do as teachers, dealing with parents, and if we have a special activity, and we have to prepare our students for that, so on and so on. So